Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Chet here from Avion Technology here in the Chicagoland area. We are a digital agency that works with other small businesses. So one of the businesses that we work with is a lot of in the healthcare setting or a lot of smaller medical practices. So this week I'm in my small business focus. I'm actually going to discuss this sector and how to create a digital presence for this sector and how to do digital marketing for this sector. So one of the areas that most of these practices actually before I proceed, this is just a conversation. Do not construe any of what I said as medical advice or legal advice or financial advice. For that, please seek out a specialist. This is just conversation. So one of the areas that a lot of kind of healthcare practices or medical practices are constantly struggling with is how to gain patients and how to retain patients, right? And that's across the board. That's for all small businesses. This is an area that most small businesses struggle with. Is how do you get more customers and then how do you retain those customers? So within the healthcare setting, within the medical industry, right? It becomes all the more important because there's such a big kind of success there's such a zero margin of error, right? In some of the other places, like for example, if you have a fitness studio, if you don't have a satisfied client, that's not going to make or break you. But in the healthcare setting, if you have a failure, that can trigger a lot of other things, right? So malpractice and just a bad word of mouth, just so many things. So this sector almost has one of the highest word of mouth kind of marketing protocols. So today I'm going to discuss how your medical practice can create a really good digital marketing strategy, and how you can implement these strategies to kind of take your business to the next level, right? The first is local SEO. That includes Google My Business, local citations, right? Because most of doctor practices, most of medical practices are within a community setting, and so Google gives you that social proof along with Yelp. It gives you that social proof so that you can really leverage Google My Business and the local listings, especially the reviews, to create a very positive buzz about your medical practice. So again, I'm sure most of you are doing that, but if you're not, please look at creating a Google listing. This might be more relevant for folks who are just starting out. They're wondering how they can, what are the strategies that their medical practice can use. So this is one of those, Google My Business. Second is Google AdWords. Almost 80 to 90% of practices use Google AdWords of some sort. Again, seek out a SEO specialist. Google AdWords is one of those things which requires a lot of calibration. So you have a 2-3 month phase when you're doing a lot of tweaking, a lot of titration, a lot of calibration to kind of create the perfect campaign. So definitely seek out a professional who specializes in Google AdWords. But again, paid advertising, search engine marketing, Google AdWords is something that I would highly recommend for a medical practice. Again, it's much easier to increase the user views with Google AdWords than without, so it's much easier to increase the number of people who are coming to your website using paid advertising versus organic, which usually takes a long time. Third is partner with local businesses, right? Again, if there's for example, you can look at services which are kind of ancillary to what you do. There's yoga studios, there's fitness centers. There could also be standalone pharmacies, for example. I don't know. Again, like I said, I hope some of what I'm saying doesn't fall under any like legal issues, conflict of interest, anything like that. But these are just things which come to my mind. Is you can actually work within the community and find partners and businesses where you kind of feed into each other, right? So if there's a rehab place, right, then, and if you're an orthopedic practice, then that's a good fit. If a yoga center or a fitness studio might be a good fit. Next, and this is again something that I've seen very, very good results for, is actually having a YouTube channel. See if you can get a YouTube channel. I have been, struggling with this. To be 100% candid with you, I just started YouTubing about a year back. I used to do it on and off sometime, for a long time, but I've started doing it seriously about a year back. Especially within the community setting, having a good YouTube channel really gives you that social proof. I always say this, but people buy from other people that they like, right? It's not about buying from people because someone's product is the best or service is the best. It could be, but the first reason why people buy from anyone is because they like that person, right? So we're all looking for social proof. None of us want to be that first person who does anything, right? We don't want to be the first person at the party. We don't want to be the only person in the restaurant. We always want to follow others' leads there. So the medical industry is an industry where social proof kind of matters a lot. Everyone would want to seek out a doctor who comes with a lot of social proof, who comes with a lot of validation. So YouTube is a great place to do that. You can also actually share your patients' testimonials on YouTube. You can create ads and post them on YouTube. Again, that's a very good way to kind of create that buzz, right? Next is partner with micro influencers. This is a great strategy. I actually almost always recommend this strategy to a lot of my small business clients. If you look at any community, usually within the community there's a kind of people, I call them connectors. Nowadays the word for it is influencers, but there's always people who are very well connected, who are very extroverted, they socialize a lot, and their name carries a lot of weight. I live in the Schaumburg area, and I actually know a few of those folks in my own community, right? Now what happens is that these people are very good ambassadors for small businesses. So if one of those people gets a knee replacement from you, he's going to go and tell it to everyone that he or she knows. Or if one of those people gets a root canal from you, then he or she is going to go and meet a lot of people. So one of the things you can ask your reception, your folks at your reception, or your admin to do is find out who are the micro influencers or the connectors within the community, and seek them out. Take them out for lunch. Offer them a freebie if you can. But if you do that, it's funny how much micro influencers can actually, how much business they can bring you. I've also seen, with a lot of these influencers or micro influencers, connectors, is that they really a lot of times are not looking for the money. They are looking to make more connections. So if you seek them out, and if you kind of give them a finder's fee or something, great. But what they would really like is to be introduced to your network, and if you can do that, then they will always be extremely happy. Last is blogging. Again, this kind of goes along with YouTube, right? A lot has changed. Blogging the blogosphere kind of emerged in 2004. I remember, I just graduated from college, and back then it was all about keyword stuffing and just writing a lot of blog entries. Now it's actually changed to where blogging is actually about subject matter expertise. So everyone's looking for a subject matter expert, and in your line of business, right, who could be a better subject matter expert than you? You've gone to school for that for 10 years, and you've practiced for another 10 years. So you know so much, right? People these days are looking for deep expertise. No one's looking for the guy who knows everything. People are looking actually for very deep subject matter expertise, what you call niches. And if you can create a blog around a few niches, right? I always say there's niches, there's riches in niches, right? So you can actually kind of own a channel, own a topic, and you can be like the world-renowned expert on that. So here were 6 tips from my side. 1, local SEO. Second is paid advertising. Third is partner with local businesses for become a YouTuber and share your patient success stories on YouTube. Again, look at HIPAA and all those other things, right? So I'm sure you can't directly use your patients' names, or you can't directly disclose their identities, but I'm sure there must be some way to share their stories on YouTube. Next is partner with connectors, and lastly use blogs. So if you use all of these strategies, right, you're definitely going to see a lot of awareness being created for your practice. For any small business, right, awareness is the first step. It takes about a year to kind of create the awareness, but that's essentially planting the seed. So spend 1 year in awareness, right, spending about 3-4 hours a week doing these kind of things, and then after that first year you kind of start seeing the results. I know that a lot of you are doctors or chiropractors or dentists, and you don't have the time to do this. That's when you seek out a digital marketing company like us. And see if they can do all of these things for you. But again, just the way you look for a doctor through, a word of mouth, see if whenever you're choosing a digital agency, make sure you find out someone who comes with a really good background and who knows what they're doing, right? Because that's what we look for in an expert. So, and yeah, it's, 20 years from now, you will be happy that you invested this time and effort and money into creating all of this brand equity, because at the end of the day, it's the brands which sell, and the money that you're spending is not gone to waste. It's actually you're spending it in creating brand equity, brand recognition for your practice, right? Here at Avion, we've actually created a digital presence for a couple of medical practices. We also do SEO for them. So if this is something that you would like us to do, give us a shout. These are our coordinates, and I would be more than happy to discuss your project with you. Chet here from Avion Technology signing off, and you have an awesome rest of the week.